Hi, we're at the Indian Ocean Defence and Security Conference here in Perth, Australia, and I feel honored today to host the Royal Navy's first Sea Lord. Admiral Sir Ben Key, good morning, great to meet you.
Good morning, Xavier, good to be with you.
You're here in Australia to attend this conference and to hold a number of high-level talks with your US and Australian counterparts on the topic of AUKUS. How important is AUKUS for the Royal Navy?
AUKUS is a hugely strategic obligation and opportunity for us. And since the political leaders of our three countries committed us to this endeavour, it has become a fundamental part of the partnership that we have already enjoyed, but something that really cements it now for decades to come because of the nature of what Australia is embarking upon, which is to develop the capability to operate their own sovereign nuclear-powered submarines. So it's very exciting, it's very demanding, but the opportunities that come out of it are so important for all three nations that I'm fully committed, as is the government of the United Kingdom, to making it work.
Admiral, can you share with us the progress made to date on AUKUS Pillar 1?
So yesterday, Vice Admiral Mark Hammond, Chief of Navy for the Royal Australian Navy, hosted myself and Admiral Lisa Franchetti, CNO from the United States, to visit HMAS Stirling and to see the work that is already underway as part of the Pillar 1 optimal pathway. And we were really encouraged at the progress that has already been made. There is a long way to go, but you can see momentum building all the time. And very soon there will be an American submarine, SSN, arriving in Stirling with a maintenance tender. And for the first time ever, Royal Australian Navy personnel will be part of a maintenance team doing work on board a United States nuclear fast attack submarine. And we shouldn't take away what a significant step that is on the journey. But this is a journey that is going to take many decades. And so each milestone is part of a long-term strategic timetable of events that will eventually lead to the Australians owning and operating their own sovereign SSNs. So I was really encouraged. I know that there are Royal Navy personnel already embedded in small numbers at the moment, but that will grow over the next few years. And we look forward to taking our part in the rotational force west that will be in place by the end of the decade.
So when do you foresee the Royal Navy to be in a position to deploy Astute class SSN here in Western Australia?
Well, we've already deployed once. HMS Astute came here in 2021, and we have plans through the second half of this decade. Those clearly are exactly when will be decisions for the new government, and they've only been in post a couple of weeks yet, so the detail of those are yet to be finalised. But I am absolutely confident that within the next few years we will see UK SSNs operating for extended periods of time out of HMAS Stirling.
Admiral, how is the Royal Navy assisting in the nuclear training of Australian sailors?
Well, only a couple of weeks ago, 3 young Australian engineering lieutenants graduated from our own nuclear course, and they are all now serving in Astute-class submarines based up in Faslane in Scotland. So it's underway. And we will continue to invest opportunities for Australian colleagues to come and serve alongside us as they build their own nuclear capability. Now, clearly, that sits alongside the effort that the Royal Australian Navy needs to put in to be ready to operate Virginia-class submarines. So we entirely understand that the focus of their attention is on phase 2 of the optimal pathway. But phase 3 is also running in parallel. And as the programs develop side by side underneath the overall cover, we will make sure that we're playing our part.
You've had a couple of OPVs deployed to the region for the past 3 years. What kind of feedback can you share with us regarding that deployment?
Well, the feedback we're getting is that they're having a great effect. They've been able to undertake a range of activities from supporting the disaster relief activity in Tonga through to multinational exercises, supporting the United Nations monitoring effort around North Korea, and engaging with our allies and partners across the region. And it's amazing how those patrol vessels have had kind of a disproportionate impact in showing that the Royal Navy can and will be operating across the region on a permanent basis now for the future years to come. And we've been delighted with the impact that they've had. We've been delighted with the way that we've learned about how to operate for sustained periods of time at range. And we've also been delighted with the really positive response we've had from allies and partners across as to how much they've valued the contribution we're making. We're not a leading navy in this region. These are not our waters. Euro-Atlantic is where we're based. But these waters are extremely important for economic prosperity for the United Kingdom as part of the global order. And therefore, we do need to play our part in ensuring a maritime security construct that allows the free movement of trade and the development of beneficial partnerships with our friends and allies.
Lastly, Admiral, the UK and France have agreed to coordinate the Indo Pacific deployment of their respective CSGs. What led to that decision, and when will it be taking place?
So for a few years now, there has been a European carrier capability cooperation across a number of nations in Europe, of which UK and France clearly are the leading ones, but Italy, Spain and others have taken part. So actually this wasn't a sort of a new thing that we set up. All it was a recognition that because France, ourselves and also Italy increasingly expect to deploy carriers into the region, that we made sure that we coordinated those programs, not just so that we made the most of if there were opportunities to operate together, but also because a number of nations want to work with us to build those partnerships, that interoperability, and a degree of coordination. So it meant that we weren't asking everybody to do things at the same time with too many people, but it looked joined up and actually part of a European defence contribution or security contribution into the region. So it just seemed a natural thing to do rather than that we were starting something from scratch. And in fact, the whole thing arose from a cup of coffee between myself and the heads of the French and Italian navies. So we do talk, much to the surprise of some people. We talk a lot.
Very well, Admiral. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure, Xavier. Good to be with you.